Okay, can you see my screen? Do you see the
Yes.
self-assessment? Okay, wonderful. So let's go ahead and begin. During our pre-conference, together we identified CSTP 4.2, which was establishing and articulating goals for student learning. And so I'd like to highlight one of the things that you mentioned during that pre-observation conversation is you mentioned to me that although you really had an understanding and felt pretty comfortable with sharing the goals with your students or articulating them, one of the things or one of the data points that you wanted me to look at was whether the students or not were able to go on that journey with you and work towards being autonomous and independent learners and being able to track that, right? So that's a very important goal, but it's also a very big goal. So I wanted to now really zoom in. You shared generally some of the things that you noticed as you watched your lesson, but I want to go a little bit more specifically into what do you think went well? And so I know you highlighted a couple of things here, and in a minute we'll get into the video as well to look for specific evidence, but just generally speaking, what are some of the things that you felt went well during your lesson?
I feel like one of the things that went well was just like the content was pretty clear and concise. Like it was very to the point. We're talking about theme. It's like kind of like an introduction and a review at the same time to theme. So I felt like the content was good and I was able to address that confusion between like a motif and a theme, which I noticed a lot. And I noticed a lot already early on with the students. So I feel like that's one thing that went well. And also that I was able to just let them know what their goal was for the day and communicate that, even with the technical difficulties.
You rose above that. That was great. So definitely, I want to validate what you're saying, and you are mentioning, so we're talking about, first of all, we mentioned the CSTP goal, but you're also talking specifically about your content goal, right? And so addressing student misconceptions early on is very important because that helps orient the learning, right? So I'm going to have to agree with you that that was very clear. So kudos on that. That was a success. Okay, wonderful.